So what are some common like techniques that you would think the average dog adopter should know for correcting and redirecting? Like, are there go-to techniques that you're using?
Um, I'd say with any kind of command, always pair it with a hand signal. I usually see people, they don't realize to do that. And I explain, dogs are like visual learners. So pairing sit, brings the nose up. Just having consistent hand signals and then rewarding right when the butt goes down and they do sit. So I usually tell people dogs live in the moment. So in timing is how we kind of communicate with them. So if we're teaching them to sit, as soon as the butt touches the ground at first, then just treat right away.
What about in terms of like correcting a behavior?
Correcting, I think it needs to be quick. So let's say the dog's grabbing something off a table that you don't want to grab. I'll usually interrupt it with like like real quick, and then they'll look at me. That's kind of it, and then I'll call them over, like, hey, come over here and have them sit and redirect the behavior. Because when dogs correct each other, and in like a nice way, it's a quick snap and then they get over it, and then they're done. So same with our corrections, it should just kind of be quick and then move past it and they kind of create structure from that. So when I'm teaching a dog to sit, I try to reel in their attention. The hand goes up. Good job. And then I start rewarding. If he was to jump, I would pull my hand back. Good job. So I'm glad this happened because it shows that different things will give us leverage for different dogs.
Yeah.
So he wasn't really responding to the treats, but maybe kind of toys is his language. And he's understanding, oh, I need to sit before I get that toy. So I think that brings up another great topic is a lot of people, they'll play fetch with their dogs in their backyard. So I usually tell them go a step further. Hey, if we're gonna be playing fetch, have the dog sit, because the dog wants nothing more than to get that ball and they have all that energy. So if we can have them sit still while feeling all that excitement, it can kind of strengthen that impulse control. And then we're kind of combining like playing and enrichment with some light training.
So yeah, just one approach that I'll take usually with jumping dogs, especially if it's the owner coming home for the day or like a brand new visitor coming through the door. We know the dog's going to be excited to see us, so I try to let them kind of redirect or rechannel that energy somewhere else. If it was me coming home for the day, I would probably just let the dog outside immediately first to relieve themselves, and then I'd go through this process. But otherwise, I'm going to redirect their attention with a little food scatter, and I'm just going to ignore any jumping until they eat some of the food and come up to me politely. Indy! I'm going to try to get Indy excited first. Got her. And even if the dog is still jumping at me, I'll just wait until they decide to eat that food, and I'll just totally ignore them.
She's really energetic, so I'm trying to kind of reel in her attention. I compare it to like fishing. Now I have her on the hook. And this is good impulse control because she just wants to run and jump, but we're trying to structure our interactions. Good job, good job.
I can see that being really good for the dog's owner because they want to work together. Whereas maybe like the scatter and ignore technique might be good for a visitor who doesn't necessarily want to interact with your dog as much.
That's a really good idea. Yeah, because we're usually working with the owners, so we're able to teach stuff, but it's harder for the owners to teach someone else it. So I like the scatter feeding because it's kind of really simple and hard to mess up.
And some people come over don't really want to interact with a dog. You know, they don't want to play with the dog too much, and everybody's a dog person.
Yeah.